Let's start the meeting. I'm going to turn off the chat for a second because I want everyone to get in the mindset. Now, how many of you guys are aware that manifestation is a real thing? I mean, I think we can all say across the board, we all know it's a real thing, right? So, what I want you to think about is always getting into the mindset that you are in control of your 3D reality. Now, the question is, can you take control of somebody else's 3D reality? And the answer is always yes, because if you are the narrator of your story, if you are the person who's in charge of making things happen in your life, you have to understand that your role in somebody else's life is pivotal as well, right? So a lot of the times we see that maybe we're trying to call in a ex-lover, an old friend, a family member who we felt like has just fell off the earth with us. We don't know how to get in contact with them. A lot of the times it could just be a very toxic relationship where you don't have a way to get in contact with them. So what can you do? Now, the whisper method, right? This is one of the most important types of methods that I love. I personally love this method because it's so transformative. I have been implementing the whisper method since the day that I became a cognitive and aware manifester, right? And believe it or not, if you have any amount of spirituality or religious beliefs, or if you're just a person who believes in a higher being or a divine creator, you will understand the power of telepathy because it's basically the same thing as a whisper method, using a different form of communication when you cannot speak to whoever it is that you're trying to get in contact with in that very moment, right? So let's talk about that a little bit. Why is whisper method so popular? Why is that something that most people that have mastered the art tend to rely on that the most? It's the least work. There's no effort on your end except this one part. And we're going to get into the steps of doing the manifestations in the method, right? The number one thing when it comes to the whisper method is learning how to take full control of your body. Because the whisper method is basically a combination of your mental state, your physical state, and your ability to project yourself outside of your human body. Okay? You're basically taking your inner self and you're putting it forward. But how do you do that without moving yourself from your place where you are right now? And the answer is actually pretty easy, and I'm going to teach you the step by steps right now, right here. Now, the most important thing in any type of manifestation and doing anything related to getting a desire of yours that's unfulfilled is to get into the right mind frame. Now, your mind is the actual vessel through which everything is going to be delivered. So you have to make sure and do the work that there are no holes, that your mind is not compromised because the more your mind is compromised through limiting beliefs, through blocks, the less strength you are going to have in any technique you do. I don't care if it's a 369 method, if it's the 555 method, if it's the whisper method. I don't care what it is that you're doing. It's not going to be successful or your powers are going to be less potent because the integrity of your mind, the container is compromised, right? All right. So how do we get into a mind state that we know is going to work in our favor? This is the five senses, right? We have five senses. We can see, we can smell, we can taste, we can hear, we can feel. These five senses are pivotal for us. Why is that? Because in order for you to understand where you are, how you're feeling, what you are predicting for yourself, you have to use all five senses. It's rarely ever a situation, unless you're sleeping, that you're not utilizing all of your five senses, right? You use the same fingers that you use to hold a burger is going to be the mouth that you're going to bite and taste while you're smelling the food, while you're seeing it, and you can hear the sounds of your food chewing in your mouth, right? It's all cohesive. And what does that do for you? When you're using all five senses, it engages, excuse me, a feeling of completion, right? Everything is happening at the same time. It's not like, oh, I can't hear myself chewing, so I'm just going to continue biting. No, you're going to be a little suspicious, like, wait, what? I don't know. Can't even talk right now. You're going to be a little suspicious? What's the word, guys? I can't even speak right now. You're going to be a little suspicious. Like, why can't I hear myself chewing? It won't make sense to you. The experience of eating won't make sense unless all five senses are engaged. So, how do you get yourself in the mindset, in the mind frame where you can engage all five senses? And why is that important? You need to be able to clear your mind of racing thoughts. How do I do that? How do I clear myself? I have anxiety. I have diagnosed anxiety. I have multiple mental health conditions due to the type of work that I used to do. I was in law enforcement for 15 years. I no longer am in law enforcement because I just couldn't handle becoming a mother and having, postpartum and everything, every case that I've ever handled and dealt with became a part of my reality, and I wasn't able to detach from that. And I utilized my techniques to come out of my mental health state. I realized why I was having anxiety, why I was having panic attacks is because I wasn't utilizing my powers appropriately. So I'm going to teach you today how to use your powers appropriately so you can avoid a lot of these problems in your coming life, right? All right, so now we're going to get into the actual mind frame that you are going to have. You're not going to get the best quality outcome. I could promise you a thousand different things, but if you're not going to put in the work, you're not going to get the results, right? You need to understand that when you're going into the mindset, before you do a whisper method, before you do a telepathic message, you need to be in the mindset of one, that it's going to work. It's gonna work. The way that you're breathing right now without thinking about it, the way your eyes are blinking without thinking about it, any manifestation technique you do, you must have that much faith. Because if you don't have faith in your own method of doing something, it's not gonna work. Okay? You can't sit there and preach to the world that I could manifest anything, but deep down inside you feel like you don't deserve it. Okay? You have to believe that you at least deserve it. Forget about perfecting your method. You have to believe that you deserve it. And it's always the people who are deserving of nothing that believe they deserve everything is that's why they have everything. That's why they say like evil people get everything. And some limited belief, religious mentality, people will tell you, oh, they're getting everything in this life because they're going to get punishment in the next life when they go to heaven and hell. No, it doesn't work like that, right? The same way they haven't died and crossed over and found out, we haven't died and crossed and found out. So when people tell you something with so much definite, like, oh, this is the reason, you have to start to engage your thought process and go, how would you know that? You haven't died, so you can't confirm that. So you have to go based on your own experience. Now, what is the difference between a person who might be labeled as being bad or selfish, between them and a person who is righteous, who's always like limiting their actions, who's always thinking, hey, I don't want to do this because I don't want to go to hell. Or I don't want to do this because I don't want to take a chance of hurting myself or my blah, blah, blah. Audacity, right? They're having the audacity. It's the people that we label or that have been labeled to be unethical. They have the audacity. They're doing things because they feel like they deserve it. They're just going out and grabbing opportunities left, right, and center. They don't care what other people do. They're of the mindset, benefit to me and harm to none. I'm going to do what's best for me. And that's why life is always working in their favor because they truly believe that they deserve it. And I say this because I want to explain to you that if you don't feel like you deserve the outcome, your process will never work, okay? Because if you're going to start off any method with doubt, you're going to end with confirmation of the doubt. That's just how the human brain is programmed, okay? You will do what your brain tells you is safe to do. If you can make doing certain actions feel safe in your body, you're gonna do it. This is why babies will put anything in their mouth. They don't understand the difference between what's good for me and what's not. And adults will be very hyper focused on, I don't want to eat this because I have an allergy. I don't want to eat that because I have a diet restriction. That's what separates them. It's the ability to make that decision and understand that you need a level of audacity. Babies have so much audacity. They take all the risk in the world. That's why they get all the attention, right? Babies get so much attention. They get their ass cleaned for them. They get their food prepared for them. They don't need anything. They don't need anything because they have audacity to be like, I'm not going to do it if you don't do it for me. And then we do it for them. So you want to have the audacity to getting everything you want. You got to kind of go into that childlike state and just be like, no, be a brat. Like who are you really fighting with? It's yourself and your desires. There's no other person watching, so there's no sense of shame. So if you want something, you want an outcome, you have to shamelessly want it and you have to effectively think you deserve it, right? So this is how it goes. The reason I talked about the five senses at the very beginning is because you need a calm mind, a clear mind, and your five senses to engage this whisper method, this AKA telepathy transfer, right? When you're doing anything related to visualization, A lot of people will tell me, I don't know how to close my eyes and visualize. Like I don't, if somebody closes their eyes and another person goes, think of a red apple. Some people just don't know how to envision a red apple. And I understand that. Human to human, person to person, things are going to be super available to you, but might be very difficult for somebody else. But there's a way around it. There's practices for that. So if you are the type of person who knows how to visualize, then you're going to be great in this method. If you are the type of person who's having a hard time visualizing, there are certain practices that you're going to have to do to engage your visualization. Because whisper method only works if your visualization is 10 on 10. 10 on 10. You can't be 9.5. It doesn't work, okay? How do you train your brain to visualize? Very easy. Let's say I have this headset. I know what size it is. I can feel it in my hand. It's smooth. It kind of feels warm to touch, but it's cold in certain areas. The edges are very smooth. There's no rigid edges here. There's no sharp objects. It feels a certain, maybe like 2, 3 pounds. It's got some weight to it. I know what it feels like in my hand. And as I'm looking at it, I can see it clearly. Okay, so it's like a rectangular shape. It's white. It's got an opening that opens about 3/4 of the way up. I have to now look at this. Close my eyes. Remember what it looks like. Look at it again. Close my eyes. I have to do this as many times as possible until I no longer need to open my eyes to remind myself. That is how you train your brain to visualize. There's no other way around it. And it could be with anything. And I would suggest you go through the color chart, go through the entire rainbow. Pick an object that is red. It could be anything. It could be from a sock to a box. I don't care. Use your imagination, pun intended. Grab it, touch it, feel it, see what it feels like to you. Look at it for 5 to 10 seconds. Like really examine it, really study it. Close your eyes and try to remember. And this is where you have to engage your dialogue. Visually, mentally, internally, you have to start saying without actually using your mouth. Use your spiritual voice. Okay, so it's an Apple AirPod. It's white. It's rectangular. It's got no sharp edges. It's got a yellow bar in the back that's used to hold the top and bottom. 3/4 of the way up, it opens. Keep doing it until you perfect it because the whisper method will not work if you don't know how to visualize appropriately. Okay? Start with one object. Once you perfect it, move on to the next one and then the next one. If you cannot perfect it, you will have a very hard time. I won't say it's going to be impossible, but you will have a very hard time using the whisper method. Now let's move on. Now let's assume that you've mastered the art of visualization. You can close your eyes and remember what your bedroom looks like. You can close your eyes and remember what you look like in the mirror. There's a different level of visualization that you're going to have to start doing in order for you to do the whisper method. You have to do something called an out-of-body experience. What is an out of body experience? How do I do an out of body experience on something that I don't even know that I needed to do? Very easy. Imagine yourself wherever you are right now. Imagine yourself in that exact spot. I want you to close your eyes wherever you're seated right now. I want you to close your eyes. Now, can you remove your soul from your body for a second and go to the corner of the room and see your physical self sitting in that space? If you could do that, you've mastered the art of removing your soul from your body. Okay? This is your spiritual self that you are going to use for the whisper method. You need to actually remove yourself from the body. You should be standing in the corner of the room that your body is physically in. You should be able to see yourself. Either you're standing in front of yourself, you're standing to the left, to the right. The ideal space to be is somewhere up in the ceiling, as if you're getting like a bird's eye view of where you are. If you close your eyes, you should be able to see everything in that room and in that space to as much detail as possible. See if you can feel what the temperature is like in the room. See if you can feel what the room smells like just by being in that space. Can you see if there's clothing on the floor? Can you see if there's a book on your shelf? Imagine where you've placed everything while you were cognitively there, while you were conscious and aware, and try to see that from your bird's eye view perspective of you and your spiritual being. Now, all you need to do is you need to stick to that. Stick to that version of yourself. Now, if you're still in the seated position, I want you to come back to me really quick. Open your eyes and just get back into form. Because what we're going to do is we're going to actually start to train on how to do the whisper method and why it's going to work. And before we get into that, I want you to understand in which situations you can even use the whisper method so you can understand, is it worth it for you to try this method or not? Because I'm sure for anyone, it's going to be worth it if you've perfected the visualization technique. What you want to do now is you want to sit with me for a moment and understand how the whisper method can benefit you in multiple different scenarios. A scenario that you can utilize that I teach all of my clients is if they're trying to call in an ex-lover or they have a crush on somebody and they're waiting to find out does this person like me or not. I feel like I've dropped a lot of hints and this person is not really telling me how they feel about me. Let me see if I can try the whisper method. Now, the whisper method would basically be you. Remember the version of you that you pulled out spiritually to the corner of the room? That version of you is going to bring yourself to that person. And you are going to be in conversation with that person in a ghost form, right? For a lack of better explanation, you're going to be a ghost version, a spiritual version of yourself, going over to that person, and you are going to either plant a question, plant a thought in their mind, and you are going to walk away from them and anticipate an answer back. If you do this method the right way, in the way that I teach you, you're not going to find this on YouTube. You're not going to find this anywhere else because I have done the education and the background and the neuroscience and the telepathy education behind this, right? I'm going to teach you how to do this. Another example of when you might want to use this. Let's just say you went in for a job interview and the panel that was interviewing you, you couldn't really gauge if they liked you or not. How can you utilize the whisper method? Sorry, how could you utilize the whisper method to find out if this job is really for you or not? Or how do you use the whisper method to secure yourself to this position? Very easy. That spiritual ghost version of yourself that you have now expelled from your body would go over to that person and put the thought in their head. Such and such person did a fantastic job. Oh my God, Tiana did a great job for this interview. She's a perfect candidate for us. Yasmin is the perfect candidate. She's perfect for us. We can't have anybody else fill this position but her. These are the type of thoughts you want to put into their head so they can carry it with them. How many of us have ever randomly just started thinking about a person for no good reason? Like you just can't get this person out of your head. Either you're obsessed with them for a bad reason, obsessed with them for a good reason, either it's bothersome or it's making you feel good. It's normal. And it's not that you're suddenly finding this obsession with them. It could literally just be that this person must be thinking so much about you, or they want you to think so much about them that you're either compelled to call them, text them, whatever. And how many times have you done that where you've thought about somebody? Oh my God, I really miss my friend. I haven't talked to her in a while, but hopefully I'll get a chance to catch up. And then boom, she calls you, or boom, she texts you, and you're just like, whoa, I was just thinking about you. Oh my God, I did this. My husband and I would do this all the time because my husband and I, we were long distance for about a few years before we got married. He was in Canada, I was in New York. It was nearly impossible to always get a hold of him. So I would just randomly be thinking about him and boom, he would drop in and give me a text or a call, or he'd send me a random gift card like, hey, I know you're in the office right now, but I'm just sending you like a $15 coffee card or whatever. And just go buy yourself a coffee. Imagine it's you and I going out for coffee together. It was just super sweet. And I didn't know. And I would call him and be like, how did you know that I was going to go on a little break? And he would just be like, I don't know. I just had a feeling that I just felt like I wanted to do it for you. So it's very funny, but it's very real. It's happened to all of us. All of us can have an example of how this has happened. So you can't tell me it's not possible for you to do it because I know you can and I know you have. All right, so now let's get into the nitty-gritty of the mindset that is required to execute an effective whisper method. So if there's any time you want to lock in, this is the time. So the number one is to be in a place that has no distractions. You cannot be distracted. If you're a mom, get rid of those kids. Like I'm a mom and my kids are not welcome when I'm doing any type of whisper method. I do whisper methods for my clients, my one-on-one clients. We'll schedule it together. If I know that he or she is doing a whisper method, I will tap in and I will do a whisper method with them because together we're more powerful, right? Especially if we're all putting our energy into that one thing, it amplifies the power of it. But just be careful because you can't just do this on anyone. You have to either grant a person access to do it or you have to ask permission. So with my clients, I always ask permission before I do it. We are aware that it's a joint venture. Okay. So when I'm telling you that you're supposed to get into a state of mind where there's no distractions, no physical distractions, your phone should be turned off. Your TV should be turned off. I don't want anything to make you just go off, derail you. You can't have that. It won't work. Okay. Focus, you have to have focus, like sharp focus. If you're having a hard time focusing, stare at the wall for 10 seconds and every thought that comes into your mind, just go, nope, 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 next. Just imagine yourself closing tabs. You know, when you have too many tabs open on your cell phone, you're just like, just do that. Just do that. Just imagine yourself closing all these different tabs in your brain. So that's what you want to do. You want to make sure all your tabs are clear, all your tabs are gone. It's gonna happen, especially the first time you do it. You're gonna have a hard time focusing on it. Once you've done it enough times, I like for me, whisper method is like effortlessly. I'll do it sometimes in the middle of making dinner. I'm like, okay, I don't have to stir this pot for another 5 minutes. Let me quickly tap in. And I'll do it for whatever. My daughter, when she's out, my husband, my friends, like I just want to hear from somebody. Or maybe I just want to let somebody know that I miss them and I just tap into them. So what you want to do is you want to be in complete isolation. I'm going to pull you in closer to me now because I want to make sure that you watch me and you hear me and you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. What you want to do is you want to make sure that you are completely in your physical being. You are not anywhere else. You're not mentally drifting anywhere else. You are fully, fully connected to the person you are in that exact moment. What does that mean? That means you can see yourself sitting in the position that you are already seated. Now, stick with me because towards the end of this, I'm going to do a practice run with you. And this is going to give you an idea of what it is exactly entailing, okay? So once you're in a position where you feel like I don't really have anything, this is the way to tell you're completely tuned in. When you start to get little itches on your face. When you start to get little itches on your face, that's your conscious mind telling you, where are you going? What are you doing? We don't do this. Why are you doing that? When you start to get little nudges on your face, you'll see me do that a lot while I'm having conversations because my subconscious mind and my conscious mind are just like, wait a minute, we never do this. Who are we talking to? There's nobody in front of us, right? It's like your sane mind is trying to tell you that you're insane. Fight through it. Fight through the urge of, I promise you, there's nothing creepy, crawly on your face. Your hair is not on your bangs. This is why when I do any of my whisper methods, I tie my hair away from my face. I make sure there's nothing on my body that's itching me. I'm full comfort. You can either be seated in a position. Let me rephrase that. You can either be sitting down in a comfortable chair with your hands and everything else away from you, or you could be laying down in bed, whatever makes it easier for you. There is no limit to when you could do this. You could do this when you wake up in the morning, in the middle of the day, at night. As long as you're in the mindset and you're in control of your mind and you're in control of your emotions, you could do this. Now what? So now you're in this mindset, you've got full control of your body. You need to soften your eyes and you need to close them. Your eyes cannot be wide open as you're doing the whisper method because you can't visualize with your eyes open. Okay? Close your eyes, but you don't want to be squinting your eyes like this. No, because then you're forcing it. You're so focused on squinting your eyes, you can't disconnect from your five senses. When you get into your whisper method, you need to physically remove yourself from your five senses. You should not be able to lift a finger. You should be so deep in your meditative state. If I tell you in your meditative state, in your visualization state, like, hey, Yasmin, without moving your right pointer finger, can you feel it? You should be able to travel down your body and go, yeah, I feel it. Tiana, if I were to imagine for you what your left heel feels like, can you feel it? Yeah, I feel it. You should be able to do that. So I should be able to tell you at any given point, can you feel your elbow, your left or your right elbow? You should be able to feel it without actually touching it. That's how hyper-focused you are. Once you're in that state, you have to do what we did earlier. You have to remove your spirit. You have to remove your ghost self from your physical body because this is where things get super juicy. But before you leave your space, because we're going to be traveling, right, out over to the whisper method, we're going to be traveling outside of our space. You have to be able to find a space in that room while your eyes are closed that you're spiritually able to come out of. The way that I do it, wherever I'm seated, wherever I'm laying down, I imagine myself physically coming out, spiritually, whatever, coming out of that position, walk into the corner of that room, and until I can pinpoint at least five things in that room, including myself, whatever position I'm in, what I'm wearing, what I'm sitting down on or what I'm laying down on, a window in that location, and a door. That's all I look for. You need to be able to get those five things down to the T. If you can get those things down packed, you're ready for the next step. The next step is going to be for you to figure out where are you going? Who are you going to? Who do you want to experiment and speak to? It could be your mother, your father, your sibling, your best friend. Start off small. Don't do some crazy shit. Don't go back in the freaking Jesus Christ era and tell Jesus to come save you. Don't be brave. Okay? We're not time traveling. We're telepathically just going to a person that we know. Okay? Keep it familiar. Start off small so you don't disappoint yourself. Okay? You don't want to disappoint yourself. The last thing you want to do is get so caught up in, oh, I'm going to go to the love of my life and I'm going to tell him to go propose to me. You are going to be so hyper depressed because it didn't work and you're never going to want to do it again. This is why people fail with manifestations. They start dreaming too big too quick. Okay? Let's humble ourselves a little bit. Let's start with something small. You could be telling someone to buy you a cup of coffee. I do this with my husband all the time. When I feel like I'm losing my powers, we all have powers. I'm not some kind of Power Ranger. We all have powers. Although I would probably want to be a Green Ranger. Anyways, whatever. You want to understand that you've got wicked amounts of power. Not wicked like a wit. Okay, I don't want to derail. I have a tendency of derailing. I don't want to do that. But you have power, so you need to learn how to tap into your powers, okay? So now what do you do? Now I've decided that I'm gonna go and tell my best friend she should send me a text message. I am going to do exactly this. I'm going to remove myself spiritually. I'm going to stand at the wall, identify the five things like I told you. It could be any five things. I just gave you an example of what my preferences are because I like system, right? I pick the same five things because I like repetition. It's my pattern. Pick five things now. I want you to engage all of your five senses in your visualization. When you go to see your friend, are you walking there? Are you driving there? How are you getting there? Are you getting there in an airplane? Where you go? How are you getting there? Think about your means of transportation. But what about your clothing? Do you need to wear a jacket? Do you need to wear shoes? I would hope so. We're not doing this hobo walking bare feet outside, even though grounding is great. We are going to prepare ourselves. You're going to imagine yourself leaving that room, that your physical person is still there. You're still in meditative state. You're closing your eyes, not forcefully. You're gently closing your eyes. You're still in the meditative state. You are imagining yourself. You are imagining yourself getting out, and you're like, okay, I am going to now put my shoes on. Imagine your shoes. Imagine what it feels like to slide your shoes on. Is it a slide on? Is it something that you buckle on? Is it shoelace? I like to pick the most complicated pair of shoes that I have because it forces me to engage that sense. But I'm also hyper like aware of myself. If you're not as aware of yourself or you feel like you're not going to do it the right way, pick a pair of like I don't know what you guys call them, thongs, like flip-flops, whatever. Put that on. Imagine yourself sitting somewhere, putting your shoes on, putting on your coat, your jacket, and then go to your front door. Imagine yourself turning the knob. What is the sound that your doorknob makes? Do you have like a button on it where you have to press the button to unlock? Do all that. Imagine what it must feel like. You see me closing my eyes because I have to get into that. Imagine I'm gonna close. Okay, I'm gonna put in my code. I'm gonna open the doorknob. It's gonna make this sound, and then I'm gonna close the door behind me. Feel the wind hitting your face when the door closes. I'm gonna press the button to lock my house. Okay, I heard it. Good. Now you're gonna turn to your thing. I'm gonna walk down my driveway. Okay, I'm walking, taking 3, 5, 4 steps. Now I'm in front of my car. What is the noise that my car makes? Okay, my car makes a tuk tuk noise because I have an EV car. It recognizes me. Okay, I press the button and my door automatically opens. Okay, so now I sit down in my car and now what's the first thing? I gotta put my seatbelt on. Okay, that's the noise of the seatbelt. You're not physically making these noises, you're imagining them in your mind as you're doing the visualization. Then you want to go to the next step. Okay, what does it sound like when I press the start button on my car? Does the air automatically turn on? Do you get where I'm going with this? You're gonna go step by step into this. Now, what is your means of transportation to getting to this person? To get to my best friend or my husband or whatever. Let's just say I'm going to my husband's job. It's like 3 roads. So I will imagine myself looking at landmarks. Pick up landmarks on the street. Okay, I know there's a McDonald's coming up. Okay, and then I gotta check. There's a 7-Eleven here. Okay, great. All right, now I'm at the Apple store. Okay, great. Imagine yourself on the route that you would take to get to that person. Here is the pivotal part. If there's a time to lock in, now is the time to lock in. Now you are getting out of your vehicle again. What is the sound of your buckle? What is the sound that your car makes when it turns off? What is the sound it makes when your car opens the door? Boom, shuts. You're hearing all of this even though your body's physically in your house or wherever you are. So now you're going to, whatever shoes you're wearing, if you're wearing flip-flop, bat, 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 whatever noise you want to make, you're going up to your friend. You're going up to your person. I'm going up to my husband's job of place. I'm imagining his other coworkers going, "Hey, oh, I'm so glad you're loving this example." So I'm imagining his coworkers going, "Hey, oh my God, you're here. Are you looking for Luca?" And I'm gonna go, "Yeah, I'm looking for Luca. Can you point me to his direction?" So now I'm interacting with other people in my visualization. Yes, can you please point me to his direction? Yeah, Luca's all the way in the back. So now I'm visualizing my journey from the door of where I entered to his job. Can we imagine a different destination where we haven't been before? You can imagine whatever you want, but it has to feel safe and it has to feel normal to you. If it feels foreign, if you take yourself in Mexico where you've never been, you're going to be scared. When you're first starting off doing your manifestations in terms of doing whisper method, pick a familiar place. All right. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comment section. I'll come back at the end just so I don't lose track of what I'm talking about. But feel free to dump all your questions. I don't care how many questions you have. So now I spoke to my husband's coworkers and they're telling me, yeah, he's in the back. So now I'm gonna imagine myself walking past all of his coworkers, like, oh my God, this is all the stuff, the products that they have at the store. How cool. And then I find my husband. Now, I spoke to my husband's coworkers, but remember, I'm a ghost to my husband. Remember, I told you Whisper Method functions as a ghost? He doesn't know that I want to deliver a message to him. He has no idea. So I appear as a fly on the wall. He doesn't even know I'm there. He has no idea I'm there. How do I get my message across to him? Write this down if you need to write this down, okay? Or make a note somewhere. You figure out your left and right. If you're ambidextrous, dextrous, so I can't even pronounce the word right now. Figure out your left, it looks like a left, and your R doesn't look like a left, okay? If you put your 2 fingers up like this, the side that looks like an L is your left side. That's the key. Go to his right ear. Go to the L that doesn't look like an L. Go to his right ear. Now, your left is going to be his right. Always, because you're facing the person. You're facing the person, so you're always going to go to the side of your left hand. It's going to be their right ear. You are going to go over to their right ear like a little spiritual ghost. I'm going to use Tiana, for example. I'm going to say, Tiana is the love of your life. Wait, hold on. This is about my husband? Oh, hell no. I'm not putting Tiana. I'm going to just use myself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tiana. I almost gave you my man. I'm just going to be like, your wife is the love of your life. She deserves a brand new Chanel bag. You should get her a brand new Chanel bag. Your wife is the love of your life. She deserves a brand new Chanel bag. You should buy her a brand new Chanel bag. 3 times. Your wife is the love of your life. She deserves a Chanel bag. You should buy her a Chanel bag. So I just repeated these 3 things as if I'm whispering to his ear. And then I'm going to walk over to the left side of his ear, which is now the opposite of your right side. And you're going to say, if you don't buy her that Chanel bag, it's going to make you feel like a horrible failure of a husband. If you don't buy her that Chanel bag, it's going to make you feel like a horrible, horrible husband. If you don't buy her that Chanel bag, you're going to feel like a horrible failure husband. And then you're going to turn around. You're going to grab their hand. Even though they don't know you're there, you're just going to softly, gently grab their hands. And you're going to say, it is done, it is done, it is done. 3 times. Then you're going to place your beautiful lips on their forehead, right in the center. And you're going to kiss them 3 times. And then you're going to walk away the same way you walked in. You're going to walk past the coworkers. Oh, did you find Luca? Yes, I did. Thank you. And you're going to walk to the front of the store. You're going to go to the front of your car. Beep, beep. Open your car. You're going to open the door. Boom. Close the door. Put the buckle on. Put the car start, vroom, starts on, and now you're gonna get on the highway. Oh, I'm stuck at a red light. There's the freaking Apple store. Oh, there's a 7-Eleven. Oh, I gotta turn here. This is the store that I have to. Oh, I can see my driveway. Let me just pull into my driveway. And what is that feeling of your car pulling into your driveway and suddenly stopping? Engage your feelings. Engage your five senses, right? What does your steering wheel feel like? Is it warm in your car? Is it chilly outside? Think about all these different things. You open the car, you close the door, boom. You walk to your front step, beep, 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 beep. You put in the code to your house. You open the house, you get into your house, boom, you close the door, you take off your sandals, take off your jacket, and you walk yourself back to the same room you were when you started this whisper method. You go back to being the spirit in the wall. And you see yourself again, laying down, sit it down, wherever you are, and you slowly come back into your body. Now, don't jolt up and go, oh, I'm getting me a Chanel bag. No, because if you truly believe you deserve the Chanel bag, you know it's already yours. You know it's already yours. So when you come, you can see yourself falling back into your body. Acknowledge that you're safe. You're like, oh, okay, I'm back. I'm back safely. I traveled successfully. And then slowly open your eyes. Slowly open your eyes and let it go. Let it go. Don't sit there and text like I'm text my husband. Hey, I was wondering, you want to take me to the mall later on? But no, I can't do that. No, that means I'm doubting my entire process. If you start to look for clues and why it's worked for you, understand you already failed. You just you just spilled water all over your painting. It's done. It's finished. You just sabotage the whole thing. The only time something happens in a whisper method is if you truly believe you did it right the first time. And there's only so many ways you can fail in whisper method. Number one is if your container, your mindset has holes in it, it's compromised. That's why it's important to have no limitations. Number one limitation is believing that you cannot get it. Because if you don't know who you are that person, okay? Out of all the sperms, you were chosen. That egg chose you. You had to fight a great fight to get here, okay? Remember that. Anyways, so you already made the big journey to this world. You already came here. Your soul knows what its powers are. I'm just here to remind you. So understand that you have to have the mindset to be like, hey, I deserve this. Two, absolutely, I'm successful at doing something like that. Are you kidding me? I've been doing this my whole life. This was just another trial. Start small, please. Don't start something so massive that you're going to set yourself up for disaster. This is a hidden manifestation block that we have. We set ourselves up for such failure at the very beginning that we don't give ourselves the opportunity to succeed. And you're just like, oh, it didn't even work. Yeah, what are you trying to sit there and have Elvis Presley call you for? He's not going to call you. Have your best friend call you first. Like, why are you jumping through great hoops? Okay? Like when I have my clients doing my rampages and my subliminals, they will literally call me, be like, oh my God, I just randomly got a rebate. I just randomly got money back from da da da. And I'm like, yeah, because you believed that you deserved it. Whatever rampages you were hearing in my community, you believed it. If you didn't believe it, you wouldn't have gotten it. It's not that my rampages are magical. Yes, there's a certain level of confidence that I build into it, and I manifest it. It's going to work for you as well. But it's also the fact that you believe you deserve it. If you believe you deserve something, you're going to get it. Okay? Have the audacity, which is the second thing. Have the audacity to be like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to get it. Don't expect success at the first time. Anticipate it. But don't be disappointed if it didn't work because guess what? Whisper method, all these manifestation techniques, they don't come with a time frame. They could literally happen the second that you come back into your space. Or all you could do is wait. But if you would have never done the whisper method, you would have been waiting anyways. So don't put pressure on yourselves to be like, oh, but I did it and it didn't work. If you're going to go in with the mindset where you want immediate reaction, don't do it. You're not ready for it. You're not prepared for it. It's not for you. Okay? So just remember that. Alexa, turn on the bedroom. It just got dark in my bedroom. I don't know where. So You want to be mentally prepared to be like, you know what? It's going to benefit me and harm none. And I am ready for the best moments to come in my life. So try something simple like having your friend text you, having somebody buy you a cup of coffee, finding free parking, anything. If you go for a job interview, like I was saying earlier, you're just going to go and imagine, hey, you went back into the interview room the same way. I don't care if you decided to do this when you're in the home or in the waiting area or outside of the building that you did the interview. Now everything is done remote anyway, so do it from your place where you at. If you're going to imagine yourself speaking to your the panel, if there's three people in the panel, you talk to all three left and right ears 3 times. You hold their hands 3 times. You kiss them on the forehead 3 times. You don't miss a beat with nobody. You stick to the script, okay? You want to be very aware that the most important thing is for your 5 senses to be engaged. If you cannot engage your 5 senses, don't go to the next step. Stay there. This is why I said, once you pull yourself out of your body, if you can't pick up 5 things in the room, if you can't visualize 5 things in the room, stay there until you can remember. Practice your visualization. Okay? So, can we do this like example? We're going for a walk, we sat down and then I whispered. Absolutely. If you want to do this in a situation where, let's just say you're doing it with a friend, a loved one, a soulmate, a twin flame, whatever the case may be, you could replay a memory that's already happened. You can go back in time into your memory bank and play out something that's already happened if you're not the most creative person, okay? You could imagine you and your friend, you guys normally go for a walk. Okay, so I'm gonna imagine me leaving my house, meeting up at the park. Now I'm in the park. Oh my God, the sound of the water by the lake is so nice. I can hear the birds chirping. I can hear the leaves rustling in the wind. Oh, there's my friend. I can hear my friend saying my name and going, hi. And I'm waving back and I feel the wind in between my fingers. Hi. And then you walk over to your friend and you let them know, hey, you don't have to always be a ghost. If you're recalling an old memory, then you're not a ghost, but you're whispering to their ears. You're going, oh my God, you haven't called me. You should call me more. Oh my God, I really miss you. How come you haven't texted me? You should text me more. The point is to give a command, okay? The point is to give a command. You have to give a command. You can't just like start a conversation and they're going to be like, so what do you want me to do? Oh, I missed you. Okay. Call me, text me, send me money. I do this with my husband all the time. I swear to God, the only time I do whisper method is when I want my husband to be nice to me. But he thinks it's him, but it's my whisper method the entire time. He'll just be like, "Oh, here's just I'm just giving you $200, and just to be nice." And I'm just sitting here going, "So you think?" I did the whisper method on you like 2 days ago. Kind of late. The next time, be quicker. But be as specific as you want. Give them a command. Give them a command. And once your whisper method comes to fruition, once you see it happening, don't spoil it for yourself. Don't sit there and call the person and go, "Oh my God, I did the whisper method." Because you know what that's setting up for your manifestations? That you needed the proof. That you needed to show yourself and show other people that you tried something and it worked. Why would you need to try something and prove that it worked? Because if you never had a doubt, you would never need proof. Do you need proof your mother's your mother? No, because you have no doubt she's your mother. Do you need proof of what your first and last name is? No, because you've always been your person. The same way, when you get your manifestation, you don't look for proof. You don't look for signs of how this could have happened. Of course it happened. What do you mean? This is me. Who else is it supposed to happen for? Cue in your audacity. If not me, then who? I love that line. If not me, then who? What do you mean? What? If not me, then who? Has to be me. Please be selfish. I know we've all been programmed to think that you have to do for others and then do for yourself. They could wait. They could wait. Where are they going anyways? Your life is passing by. Their life is passing by at their accord. You do you first. When you have extra, you help people. You don't help people, and if there's leftover, you do it for you. No, 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 no. That doesn't work like that. This is why everybody else has such a beautiful life around you. If everyone else in your life, your friends, your family, are doing better than you in everything that you want to be married, you want to have a job, you want to, everyone around you has everything that you want. Take a minute and think for yourself. Am I helping, contributing to giving them? And that's why I'm not getting anything from me because my focus has always been towards them. Most probably, yes. Most probably, yes. Because energy is like a bank. It's like a battery. Think of yourself as like a battery, vibration, frequency. It's all battery. It's like if you have four quadrants in your body, you need all four quadrants for yourself. If you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna take a quarter and give it to my mom, another quarter for my dad. Let me give this. I'm gonna give this quarter. I'm gonna give 1/8 to my sister, the other eighth to my sister. I'm gonna keep this last quarter for myself. You're gonna be depleted. Mind you, everybody else, that one quarter you gave to your mom, she already had three quarters stacked for herself. Now you gave her that one quarter of yours, she gets everything she wants now. Your sisters were both missing 1/8. You gave them the 1/8 from you. They're getting everything they want now. Yet you're not getting any of this because you've depleted yourself completely. Okay? So if you want your manifestation to work and you have to be selfish, you have to realize, I don't care what technique you're using. If you don't learn to put yourself first, none of your manifestations will work. Because if the universe, if you understand how the universe works as a big reflection. I give you what you give you. It's literally a big mirror. Get in front of the mirror and cuss yourself out. You're not going to get an I love you back. You're going to get back the same cuss you're giving them. If you get in front of the mirror and you go, oh my God, you're so beautiful, the mirror is going to say at the exact same time, you're beautiful. There's not a pause. It's not like your reflection is going to sit there and go, what'd you say? No, your reflection is going to say the exact same thing at the exact same time. That's how the universe works. So if you get up and you go, universe, today's the best day because you're going to treat the universe, treat the divine creator like y'all are best friends, roll dogs. Like we've since day one because you have been since day one. Before your soul entered your physical body, you were one on one with the creator. If that's what you believe spiritually, religiously, tap back into that. Or if you feel like there's a divine creator in the universe, tap back into that. You don't even have to say Jesus. You don't have to say God. You don't have to say Allah. You don't have to put a title. Just say divine creator. If that feels like that, just say divine creator. Let me explain to you how energy works, right? Because I'm talking about if you manifest, you're not going to get your manifestations if you're constantly doing for others, but you're not doing enough for yourself. Imagine your hands giving somebody else a massage. Who feels good and whose hands hurt? They feel good, your hands hurt because you're transferring your energy into their body. Okay? You're using your fingers to massage their body, and it is literally energy is coming out of your hands through the tips of your fingers and it's entering their body, and now it's making them feel so much better. But what if you were on the massage table and you were getting a massage? You ever got the best massage of your life? You wake up feeling like jello. Like you feel like you have no bones in your body, you're just a bunch of cartilage. Why is that? Because the masseuse has now transferred all of their energy towards making you feel better. I don't care if you paid for it. I don't care if it was for free. That's what happened. So when you're transferring your energy to another person, either you're doing it through whisper method or you're physically giving it to them, be mindful of the type of energy. You don't do whisper method because you're angry at somebody. You don't go into them and you go, you pa 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 pa. No, you only do it when it benefits you. Do something for me. Send me money. I always tell my husband in my whisper methods, I need money. Your wife is broke. Your wife looks like she's expensive, but she's broke. Send her money. I swear to God. I swear to God, your wife is thirsty. Get her some water. That one always works for me. Because I'm that type of wife that forgets to fill up her water bottle almost every night. Because my water bottle is like the public water bottle in my household. Everyone thinks they can sip from it, and my OCD is always washing my water bottle. So I never have enough water. So I'm always dropping it into my husband. I'm just sitting there like, and it works. He always brings me water. So when you're doing a whisper method, your goal is to make it work in your favor. Okay? Your goal is to make it work in your favor. It can't be you're doing it out of spite. Please, whatever you do, any of your manifestation methods, just remember if you're working one-on-one with the universe, when it comes to whisper method, it's an isolated thing. It doesn't really apply. But at the end of any manifestation technique, please don't forget to protect yourself and say, benefit to me and harm to none. Okay? Benefit to me and harm to none. Why is that? Because what if you're asking somebody to come visit you and they have to drive a long way? And God forbid they get into a car accident. You're gonna feel like, oh my God, I killed my friend. I told her to drive to me. You're gonna live with that guilt. So cancel that out for yourself. Cancel that out. Always say that. Benefit to me, harm to none. Because if I get benefit, I benefit others. I circulate this, right? Circulate this. All right. Let me take some quick questions over here. Um, does this work in terms of wanting to be in a particular environment? It works with anything, but it has to, in order for you to do a whisper method, you have to have a person to do it with. It doesn't matter. Like, let's just say, are you talking about like moving in somewhere or if you want to move somewhere? Can you elaborate on that a little bit? I'm a little confused. Does this work in terms of wanting to be in a particular environment? Explain to me what you mean by that, because I want to give you the right answer. I don't want to misquote or say something different. I'm thinking of a different manifestation. Were you thinking of a different manifestation technique for whisper method? I want to go on a cruise for my birthday. Yes. Think of the richest person and the richest, most generous person you could think of. Somebody that has gifted you something or somebody that you feel like owes you a gift. You have to have a face when you're doing manifesting, when you're manifesting through whisper method. You have to have a face. You have to have a person. You have to have ears. They have to be able to have ears because you can't whisper into their nostrils. Okay? You can't do that. So you have to just be like, wait a minute. I want my husband to buy me a cruise. Y'all, stop giving me ideas. My man's gonna go broke, okay? Stop giving me ideas. Now I'm gonna be tapping into this man's brain talking about taking me on a cruise, okay? And then I'm gonna have to invite you guys like, come on now. What is going on? What is happening here? Stop giving me ideas, y'all. But if I were to do that, I would do that. I would tap into his brain and go, matter of fact, my 40th birthday is coming up next month. It's a month from today. I could literally just be like, your wife needs a cruise. You should buy your wife a nice 7-day cruise. Take her to Alaska. I could literally do anything. But you have to give a command. It has to be a person and you have to give a command. Command, command, command. Let me give you a quick example of when I did this with my husband when he had a previous job and his boss was horrible. His boss was horrible. And if you go onto my TikTok or Instagram, you'll see me post like examples of when my whisper method worked because I did screenshots. I interact with other people while I'm doing my whisper method. I don't interact with the person I'm delivering the message to, but other people I'm interacting with because they're not my limitation. They are not who I'm trying to deliver the message to. I have these conversations with these secondary personals is because I want to engage my senses. I want to engage memory core. Interacting with them helps me tighten up my manifestation, right? Is command, okay, sorry to recap. Is command is left ear? Okay, yeah, sure, no problem. The command starts off with their right ear. So your hand right now, your left hand is their right ear. So you're just gonna go like that and whisper 3 times. And then I come back out. And then I use my and I whisper and then I come back out. Okay? It's that simple. But yeah, you just have to have the perfect mindset, clear mindset, no blocks, guys. It's so important for you to work on your blocks. Anyone have any other questions? Because I feel like I've been talking about this for so long. I don't want to bombard you with so much stuff, but if you are the type of person who needs guidance in your manifestation techniques, right? It's really important for you to find the techniques that work for you. But unless you know how to do the work, you're not going to be good at it. You're going to get burnt out. You're going to get frustrated. And this is why a majority of people don't believe in manifestations because they don't know. It's like you have an electric vehicle, but you keep showing up at the gas station. Your car doesn't work because you're not charging your vehicle, not because it needs gas. Yeah, but my neighbors all use gas to use their vehicle because they're gas vehicles. Your vehicle is an EV. You're trying to put gas, a power source, for a car that's not meant for gas. Your car needs electricity. Understand when you are equipped to handle your own manifestations and when you need help. I am a mindset and manifestation coach. This is my job. This is what I literally get paid to do. I exist in this realm. If you want to join my community, just please either leave a comment below, I'll send you a link. Or if you want to work one-on-one with me, which I also do, it's more in depth. Check me out. It's on my socials. You can either DM me or the email that I've sent you to get access to this webinar. It's also in there. But other than that, ladies, does anyone have any other question? I hope this was as mind-blowing of a technique to you as it's been to me. Whisper method is my most favored method that I have because I feel like it works with me instantly. I get results almost instantly, but understand I've done 10 years of active manifestation. I have 5 years of being a conscious manifester. I have mentors that I pay to get me into the right mind frame too, because I want to keep up to date. My mentors are significantly older than me. They're way more experienced than I am. I have free webinars the fourth Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's free for everyone. And if you're already in my community, so this recording also will be in the community. If you want to walk through the manifestation technique again, you can go back and look at it there. Don't hesitate to reach out to me, please. I love engaging with people in my DMs or wherever you want to. You can even email me. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one, or if you're interested in getting into my community, get in.